And we should be live in a moment. Oh yes, I think we are live on YouTube in a moment.
Do you need any of us to check the live feed?
No, I'll do that. I'll look at the link. I'll look at the people who come in. Oh, look, we already have comments. And we are live on YouTube, everyone.
Oh, no, there's more people.
Hi, Annie.
Hi. Hi, give me 2 minutes.
You can have 5.
My first time meeting Bam, Xue Ting, and Man Xiu.
You see, these are all awesome people, and the group gets bigger each time.
Fantastic. We'll start soon. Exciting, exciting.
Yeah. Amancio, where do you know Kai from?
Well, a long time ago, we worked together at Swisscom, so in the API program.
Oh, I see. Oh, right. Didn't you also just cook with him, or is that was someone else?
That was Andrea.
Oh yeah.
Kai invited me for cooking, but I couldn't go. So, but he's a really good cook and a good grill master.
Yeah, a grill sergeant. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And you're based in Switzerland as well?
Yes.
Very good.
How's everything in Switzerland?
So since Eastern, everybody's on the streets now. Before it was really empty, but now things changed.
Oh, sounds good.
I hope not for the worse.
Well, I saw a video of Kai running through the streets yesterday, so apparently it's possible to go out again.
Looking forward for Singapore and Malaysia to have such times.
Mm-hmm. Good.
The last time I was in Switzerland, Zurich, was in 2007, I think, 2007. And I remember those times where we could actually drink from every single waterfall there. That was amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Without
the tap water comes from the mountains, I guess.
Getting poisoned. The water there is amazing. The lake, unbelievable. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's really tested. So the lakes and the rivers. So if somebody just drops one piece of sugar inside of a huge lake, no, they realize it. They can measure it.
Oh yeah. Well, I think somebody was
highly tested.
Somebody was talking about, there is this ink that you can buy to make sure if a thief catches your stuff, they have purple fingerprints on it. It's so concentrated, so if you dump it in the lake, the whole lake turns purple.
Gorgeous.
Did you guys hear that? Okay. And it's not even 5 o'clock yet.
Wow.
How many people online? You sound excited.
2 minutes.
Hi, can people hear me?
Yes, we can.
Very
Okay,
clearly.
great. Okay, that's good. So I'm probably going to use my computer and my phone to join the Zoom meeting
Mm-hmm.
so that I can, yeah, having a bit of technical issues, but yeah, I think that would be the
Sure.
best setup for now. So let me see.
Okay.
How many people do we have now? We have our speakers. We have Xueting, I see. And we
There's
have
8 people in the room
Wow,
and a couple of people watching on
fantastic.
YouTube.
Nice. And I guess we're just waiting for more to join before we
Yeah.
kick off. But
Did you have anything that you wanted to show? Do you have any slides or anything at all? We just talked.
Not for today. Yeah.
Good. Very good. And it's 5 o'clock.
Can the chiang be longer? Chiang.
Who did that actually?
So finally, Suresh is joining on Zoom. Since he's here.
It's just incredible. We had people joining in 15 minutes ago already, so it feels like a long time ago, and we haven't
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks for joining us. Is anyone joining us for the first time, or are you all familiar with the Martians and what we do?
Nancy is new, so maybe it's good to hear more from you, Andy.
I'm new, but I watched a post on LinkedIn and also previous events. But that's the first time I participate.
Right. Nice. Welcome. So as you may know, if you've seen today's event description, today is actually more of a interactive and physical session, mental as well. So we're going to be discussing, I think, quite an important topic right now, which is mental and physical wellness, especially relevant in the current times. So let me quickly sort out my technical issues so that you can see me on screen. But in the meantime, maybe I'll hear from the room. Where are people from? Like, where are people right now, and how's the situation like for you?
Majority is from Singapore.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then I guess we are all getting used to the fact that we are pretty much stuck at home. No. Right. Okay. I found it. Joining from my computer now so that everyone can see me when I speak.
Yes, so we can see you now.
Hello?
We can see
Yes.
two of you.
Double vision.
I think when we go back to society, we may have lost our sense of smell. That's one sense that we may have lost because we have been.
Oh, you mean regardless whether you had the virus or not?
No more practice of the nose. So.
Well, you all need to download the Real Aroma plugin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Good. Well, let's start. Let's go to the forest. Can you guys hear this?
Uli, are there
Yes.
many on YouTube? Or
At the moment, I see, well, YouTube always has a significant delay. At the moment, it looks like there was 8 people watching on YouTube.
okay.
But when we end the live stream, then we see it's actually a lot more. So I never know how real time that actually is.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, if there are only 8 there, if it's not a large number, I can give them the Zoom link so that they can interact with us as well if they want to talk.
Yeah. Well, there was a YouTube chat. Well, there was, yeah.
There is a YouTube chat, so we can.
Yes. So I see Heike said hello. That's great.
Hello. Okay. I hope this is better now.
Yeah. And I've just put up the gallery view. I stopped the screen share. In a moment, everybody on YouTube should also see all our faces. Where is this Kai person, by the way? Suresh, have you heard of Kai today? Anyway. Should we get started? What's our plan?
10点。
Benny, are you talking? I can't hear you. You're mute.
Right. Is this better now? Can people hear me?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that. So hi,
Sure.
everyone. My name is Annie. I'm one of the co-organizers of this lovely group called The Martians, where Uli and Alin as well are also members of The Martians. And it's funny because we started out as a offline kind of group, right? We would have offline meetups. We call them productivity days. It's basically a bunch of people who have very flexible work schedules. Sometimes they're freelancers, sometimes they're like entrepreneurs, sometimes they're just working on like writing books, or they might be freelance teachers, or they might be working with large organizations, but have like a very flexible schedule and maybe operate in a startup kind of manner. And so the purpose of this group was to gather all of these people together and be productive. And also to get different perspectives from maybe people you don't really meet in your day-to-day job. Yeah. And it's so strange for us because we started our offline meetup somewhere in November last year, and only a few months have passed, but I think so many things have changed around us.
Oh yeah.
For one, now we're only doing online events. The situation in Singapore right now, for those of you who are overseas and dialing in from overseas, since about a week ago, we've been told mostly to stay at home. So most businesses, unless you're operating like what is known as an essential business, like you are selling food, or like you work in medical services. Otherwise, you would be working from home. It's mandatory for you to work from home. And you should only go out if you need to buy groceries or some essentials, or if you need to exercise. And so we've been in this situation for more than a week now, and every day actually there's been updates. So for example, when we started out, it wasn't mandatory to wear a mask if you're going out. Now it is, apart from if you're doing what they call strenuous exercise. So if if you're like running, or you're running in the park, then you don't need to wear a mask. But then otherwise, you should wear a mask if you go out. If you don't wear one, you cannot go inside the supermarket. You cannot like do your grocery shopping. So that's the situation we are in. For those on the line, I would imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, but the measures are pretty similar, like only leave the house when you need to, you need to do something essential, try not to visit like friends or family if you don't live together. So I think a lot of us are in a pretty solitary kind of situation where it's very different from the life that we know. And also we've been a bit, in my case, I feel a bit kind of separated from like the outside world sometimes. So my only source of like getting updates on the situation comes from exclusively like social media these days. And depending on, well, the news comes in all the time, right? It's like 24/7 because it's a situation that affects the entire globe. So sometimes, you might be scrolling through your phone at night, and then you might see something that, really kind of like saddens you a bit. Whether it's like a picture of like some medical staff who've been working really hard, until they get all these like mask lines on their faces, or maybe it's like the confirmed cases in a particular part of the world going up again, more people succumbing to the virus. So I thought it was pretty timely. We all thought it was pretty timely to get together for a session that addresses how we can deal with a couple of things that have resulted from our current situation. And so today we have with us two experts. We have Dorothy, who maybe give us a wave. I think we'll be able to see that. Like everyone should be able to see that. Yeah, she's waving very enthusiastically right now. So Dorothy is for today our wellness expert. She's a counselor by training, and is also well versed in meditation. And we also have Bam, who please also wave as enthusiastically as Dorothy to the crowd. Yes, you're doing a great job. Yeah, so that's Bam, and he is a fitness instructor who not only takes care of like planning like a workout that can help you stay fit. He's also very, very kind of passionate about teaching people how to take care of your body in a holistic manner. So that's like in terms of your diet as well, not just exercise, but your diet as well. And it's an entire very holistic approach to keeping fit. So I see a question, are we going to do some fitness exercise today? And the answer is yes. So for those of you, I mean, if you sign up through Eventbrite, right, or you've seen, you sign up for this event because you saw our email, then you may have seen that you might have to, if you want to participate in the fitness part, that you should get changed into a sports attire or something that's easy to move around in. Bam will be bringing us through the workout. It will be a short one, so even if you choose not to participate in it, or maybe it's in your time zone, it's not really this time of the day where you want to get all sweaty, right? That's completely fine as well. You can always rewatch the live stream. Bam is sharing with us content that belongs in his course. So it's a free preview, like let's put it that way. Right? So if you're looking at the rest of us making a fool of ourselves trying to keep up with them and decide that, oh, this looks like a pretty good workout and I want to try it in my own time, like feel free to, just reference back to the YouTube live stream and just do it in your own time. Yeah. And so I guess before we get started with that, I'd just like to get Bam and Dorothy to introduce themselves. Probably, I think the best way to do this is if I ask them some questions and they could respond directly to it. I'll start off with Bam, perhaps. Personally, I've been snacking a lot more as a result of staying at home. I'm not sure if that's something that others on the call have experienced as well. Also, I find it hard to kind of carve out a time in my day to exercise because I feel like when I want to like I get like distracted a lot because I'm at my work desk and I get bombarded with information. So this is actually perhaps a question for both Bam and Dorothy. Maybe Bam, if you could address the part about snacking and why like if that is something you hear like other people experiencing as well, maybe it's some of your friends, and how do you personally like keep not snack all the time. And then if Dorothy later, yeah, you could talk a bit about how to carve out a schedule when you are in the same environment for a long extended period of time. Yeah, so maybe we'll start with them first. Yeah, and just introduce yourself to the rest of the group. Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Bam Hardy.
Hi.
And I came from two industries before. One was a very long time in the fitness industry, where I started as a fitness instructor. Then I evolved to teaching group exercises to companies and employees. And I also did quite a lot of personal training. So in total, I think trained more than 10,000 people in my 15-20-year career. So I'm writing a book right now as well, which will address a little bit on NY's question about snacking. I always believe that knowledge is power. So, in this world right now, a lot of people are chasing after wealth. And in the pursuit of chasing after wealth, most of us would probably dismiss or just maybe not or take for granted our health. So I myself used to snack a lot. I'm not perfect. I am an advocate for balanced living rather than the perfect lifestyle. So when it comes to snacking, I used to snack. I mean, I grew up with, I was an asthmatic child. I grew up with the worst of the worst. I ate everything in packs, and I drank everything in cans. And those paper-made drinks from the shops. I used to be a rebel when I was young. And then one day I decided that, I think I probably need to improve in my fitness because I love sports. And then, of course, I went into the food industry many years later, back in 2010. So coming back to the snacking part, snacking is, it's an interesting question because you can do healthier snacking, like nuts without the heavy laden salt is healthier snacks, right? So what I would do is I would share what I do at home more often. Hopefully, there's a lot of other people who snack healthily as well. Maybe in the context of Asia, we do snack because a lot of the products come, especially Singapore, things are imported in. So personally, what I do is I load up my fridge with a lot of fruit. And before I even choose the fruit, of course, there's all kinds of fruit. But I snack on fruit like papayas, pineapples, watermelon, blended with lemon. Durian is occasional, it's seasonal. And then I try to avoid fruits that are too high in sugar. So like also have bananas are good for you. This is what I personally take in as well. I eat quite a bit of nuts, walnuts, almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, and these are simple snacks that you can have. So having fruit and nuts alone can be a separation of two times a day where you can snack. Coming back to knowledge is power, I also make my own hummus. As you know, hummus in Singapore, it's quite expensive. If you buy a tub that's about 300 grams, it can cost you almost $10 from the supermarket. And of course, I would love to share with you my recipe, and you can make a whole blended version of hummus and you can have them for days. So for hummus, because it's protein packed and it's made out of chickpeas predominantly, I snack my hummus with cucumber, sometimes with carrots and celery. If it's not either, it's all. I cut up the carrots, a bit of carrots, I cut up celery sticks, and then I also cut up cucumbers. So I wouldn't say that you should, or one should eliminate the naughty snacks entirely from your lives, because I don't think that's realistic. But I do believe that everything must be in balance, right? So you can even snack on food, like for example, you could, if you have your brown rice and some chicken or something, rather than having it a full portion, you can have it as a snack portion. And then, of course, psychologically, I always believe that when we become too dependent on snacks, we tend to load it up too much in our kitchen cabinets and drawers. So I also believe that avoiding it, having them in your home in the first place actually helps.
So there's a comment that reinforces this point from Quinton, who says, 2 words, culinary distancing. So I think it always helps, it's like out of sight, out of mind when it comes to snacking. I see Dorothy nodding a bit as well. I feel like some of the reasons why I've been snacking a lot is because like there isn't like a, there's not like a spot, like a time slot in my day where I go out for lunch, right? And then I know, okay, this is after lunch and I'm working, and then after that it's like dinner. So it feels like any time of the day I'm just like, I'm a bit hungry, I'm just gonna get something to eat. So like Dorothy, like, do you have any recommendations for that, like how we can better segment our day, even if we're in the same space in the whole day?
Definitely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll answer your question first before I introduce about myself.
Sure.
Well, I love Bam's recommendation. I agree with balance, having everything in balance. My answer wouldn't be coming from the dietitian and the nutrition point of view. Bam is the expert in that. Personally, I'm a coach also, so I'll be coming more from the psychological point of view, because I've been working with quite a few clients for the past 8 years. So one thing that I realized is that the most important thing that we have to find out is actually who we are as a person and what really matters to us as a person. And also, how do we function as a person? Because as a person, we have 3 very basic bodies. So I use body to put it as a word. They are called emotional bodies, the physical body, the intellectual body.
Right.
I believe this is not new to people. So I'm speaking
hang
from
on.
the...
So it's physical, emotional, and did you say intelligence?
Intellectual.
Oh, intellectual. All right. Yeah.
Intellectual is our mind in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking from the point of view of the emotional body. So snacking is very, very emotional based. Because to be fair, majority of our snacking, unless our parents has trained us in very, very healthy snacking, majority of our snacking, it comes from the food that is not exactly having a lot of nutrients. So, you know, we have known it. However, we still want it. Like for the past few weeks before my sister bought the honey star, I was like, I want honey stars. And yeah, what
I
is
love
the
them
nutrients
too.
that yeah. And I'm like
They're awesome.
30 plus years old, honey star's supposed to be for kids, yeah. And the thing is that I'm having this very good emotional association with honey star. And I want it not because I'm hungry. I want it because, you know, I'm feeling stressed or whatsoever. So when we are snacking, what I always like to do when I am feeling that I'm doing too much is I would reflect upon myself and see, okay, you know, what exactly am I feeling stressed about, or, you know, overwhelmed about emotion, and that caused me want to go for different snacks non-stop. And personally, I also work. Okay, my mom loves to work on, you know, like our health. So I got a bit of the download from her. And my late grandma is a healer, village healer herself for like a few decades.
Wow.
So I kind of got some, you know, intuition from that. And I was checking out the internet, and they were saying that, hey, you know, when we are snacking on fried food, like we have craving for fried food. I want KFC, I want youtiao for Singaporeans who know. Or I want, yeah, you know, fried
It's
food.
basically fried flour, so it tastes great. Yeah.
Correct. And there is a reason behind that, because our physical body is lacking energy. We are so drained. So that is the reason why we are craving for a certain food. So if you're able to look at firstly, you know, what is our emotion about, what are we overwhelmed with, and then how can we deal with it? Sometimes it's a bit too much lah, because we have been locked up in a cage. You know, Singapore house is not very big, so it is very overwhelming. That's why it just contributes to that. Okay, I want to snack more. Secondly is our physical body has wisdom, and I believe Bam is much more as an expert in that area. That our physical body has that a certain wisdom that our intellectual mind and our emotional body cannot really comprehend. And when it says, I want that fried food, or I want chocolate, it is trying to convey a certain message, like, which is, for example, I'm so tired, you know, please give me energy. That's why I want fried food. And when it's looking for yellow food in a Chinese medicinal wisdom, knowledge, there is a certain teaching that when the body is craving for yellow food, it is related to one of the organs. Exactly which one I forgot.
Yeah, and I've heard of that before, but I wouldn't be able to tell you which organ it's related to.
If I'm not wrong, it's either liver or spleen or kidneys.
Yeah.
And I really go try it. So when I crave for something, I'll be okay, you know, let's be good, be good for my body and not destroy my body for a bit for that period when I have the discipline lah. Then I will choose the particular relevant nutrients that my body really needs, and I go to snack on that thing instead. And my body is satisfied. So my craving for that particular fried food is reduced.
That's very clever. I should definitely try that.
It's quite fun. And the other thing that you were asking about is how do we segregate spaces, right? One thing is that I was laughing with the team that day that we are locked up in our house. We couldn't go out. Especially Malaysia right now, they can't go out as well. So when we are locked in a house, as compared to our offices, our office has higher ceilings and it has wider spaces. So in comparison, we are less confined as a person. So our sense of suffocation is not as much as compared to us staying at home.
Yeah.
And because of that, it affects it increases our sense of, you know, feeling stressed up. So that is the physical space. And secondly, our home is always used for, you know, finally I'm home, I can just relax and, you know, put down all the burdens of work and rest for a bit. However, right now, there isn't a very good segregation. You know, you wake up. My friend was saying, I wake up, I just have to, stick my legs out and then bring my chair over and plop over and start to function on the laptop. So there isn't a very huge segregation between the workspace and the rest space. That's why it is spilling into each other, the spaces.
Yes.
So what I would suggest that I'm doing for myself as well is that if we are able to segregate our spaces, like cordon off a corner, that this place is only for working and this place is for resting. No working is allowed here. When you start to cordon it off, because us, we are very, very physical person. When we see, okay, this place is work and we relate this particular spot and corner is for work, well, when we sit into that particular spot or that corner, then we will be in a work mode. Then when we step out of it, we can feel, hey, okay, by work. So if you love shopping, this is a good time. Yes, precisely. This is the comment. So if you love shopping, I'll give you a very good excuse to do retail therapy, online retail therapy. Get something to allow yourself to segregate. Chinese way, we have the blind to segregate. I myself, I have a mahjong table to put beside my bed so that my room is split into half. One half is for sleeping, the other half is for working.
It's interesting the use of the mahjong table to perform that particular function. But speaking of like retail therapy and actually buying things that help with home improvement. So I was reading a statistic that was saying that, what are people spending their money on these days, right? And so there's obviously a lot, people are buying groceries, they're buying like toilet paper, they're buying maybe instant noodles, potatoes, right? And another very big trend is that people are buying a lot of home improvement devices. And another one is that they are buying a lot of like exercise equipment as well for the home, right? Because all the gyms are now closed, right? So it's either, you buy some weights or some like resistance bands and you do your workout from home, or you, and Ben whips out what he's bought. But today also we especially got them to tell us about an exercise routine that he developed, which is called grounded fitness, right? Is that right, Ben? Ground fit.
It's called 7 Flow Fitness.
Okay, right.
I changed it to grounded fitness for the submission that I put into for under Active Lifestyle SG.
Okay.
And that program is mainly for the seniors, for the elderly. Yeah, so over today, it's going to be more for people who are super busy. So that program is called 7 Flow Fitness.
So just a quick survey on the call. Are people game to do a quick 15-minute workout right now? is it convenient for you guys? You are? Okay, that's
what does
great.
What does it include? Can we keep sitting on our chairs? Are we doing shoulder work? What's the trick?
That would be a fantastic workout.
Yeah, like
physical distance.
So yeah, I know for BAM it's like we will have 15 minutes for the actual workout, and right now maybe it's for us to kind of do a warm-up, and BAM has shared with me that he prefers the warm-up to be really free for everyone. He doesn't really have like a standard few actions for us to go through because he thinks that can stress people out. So it's more about like loosening up the body a bit. But maybe if I could request them for one thing, which is, now we are in a sitting position, and maybe I've been in this sitting position for at least the past 3 hours, right? So are there any stretches that I can do at my desk, right, before before like we do like a quick warm up and then like go into the routine that you plan to share with us today. Yeah, so it's like ease us into that process, right? Because now
that'll be
I'm
good.
like,
I mean,
yeah,
especially you know, we have all these fancy office chairs at the office, and at home it's the lousy IKEA chair, and we are sitting all the time. How do I sit properly? What do I do with my shoulders? And you know, that will already be a great help.
Yeah, I definitely need to stretch out a bit. Yeah, I feel like I've been hunched over for a long time. I have a laptop, so it's not the best setup that you can have. But yeah, so over to you, Bam. Like if you could just give us a bit of guidance.
Yeah, sure. Because most of the time the stresses will come from areas of the neck, right? And it's due to holding the mouse for very long. There is a relationship from the thumb all the way down to your neck, which causes a lot of problems on the neck. So probably what we can do right now, I'll go straight into it, is to stretch the neck by either just turning your head to one side, or if you're very flexible, you can actually take the tips of your finger on the opposite side and pull your head not straight forward, but at a 45-degree angle forward. So you're actually tilting it to a 45-degree angle. And don't forget to breathe. It's always important when you are in a stretch, you should also build that good relationship with your breath. So while you're stretching, you're also breathing. And I know that for many, many years, a lot of people hold their breath while they are doing something, especially when they're stressed. So again, we'll do it on the other side. We'll stretch the other side and focus on your breathing.
Then the area that you want us to stretch is here, right?
Sides of the neck, yes.
Not the side.
At the perfect spot, yes.
Okay,
so it's a little bit towards the back. And your shoulders. Yeah, so it's going to be angled at a 45-degree angle, but forward. So sweating, you just have to pull it a little bit more forward rather than sideways. There you go. Dorothy, you're perfect. Uli, I don't want to mess up your hair. So from there, of course, we want to stretch upwards as well. While you're there, you want to take a nice deep breath. Inhale all the way down to your diaphragm and exhale. And then it's also good to look down, stretch the back of your neck, and try to get a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And then of course, there's those stationary stretches. You can also do movement stretches like these in a very slow movement, or you could do semicircle movements. They also help in loosening up some areas in a good way, as well as help you to stretch out. And then of course, we have the shoulder area where you would want to wrap the opposite side of your shoulder and then use the other hand to push it right towards your body, but pulling it downwards instead, rather than upwards, pulling it downwards. So this helps in loosening up the area of your shoulders and the back. And what's really nice is if you could twist your body to the side a little bit while you're doing that stretch, you get a little bit deeper stretch on your shoulders, as well as a little bit on your lower back as well. So let me put myself on my IKEA chair now. It's a cute little stool I have here. Okay.
Nice.
Imagine
nice.
I'm on the stool right now. Okay, so I'm sitting down right there. And then you actually turn your body. Doesn't matter if it's IKEA or Robinson's, you're still getting a stretch there. And again, focus on your breathing. Okay, let's go to the other side. Hold it there. And turn. And now for my favorite part. A lot of people who work in the office get a lot of lower back pain, lower back stress, lower back discomfort, right? And most of us would assume that the pain actually has to be targeted at the lower back. But in fact, sometimes the pain starts from other areas of your hip. And I give you an example. If you stretch your glutes, AKA your butt muscles, and these are really good for guys as well, you will be able to relax your lower back a little bit more. I advocate this because I practice it very often when I do a lot of housework. I do exercise, I don't have back pain. I do housework, I get back pain. So that's ironic, but it actually is true. But so on your office chair, what you have to do is you have to sit cross like that. Okay. And then you see that kneecap there, right? If your right leg is up or left leg is up, okay, you want to scoop down below the kneecap right here. And as you do that, right, you're hugging it with both hands. And when you do that, you want to lean towards as far away from that kneecap. So you lean towards the kneecap, but you're going really far. So for any, lean forward as much as you can, forward towards me. There you go. And pulling up that leg at the same time. Can you guys feel that stretch? I know some women are so flexible, it's so hard to stretch women out, but the men will probably like this.
So, Alex says, that hurts in a good way.
Very
So
good.
I'm guessing he's feeling the stretch.
That's a good pain, that's a good pain.
And someone's asking, how do you type and stretch, Alex? I think, yeah, maybe we'll need Alex to share that with us. But yeah, sorry to interrupt.
So when you position your leg, as you can see, that's my other kneecap, that's my foot, and it shouldn't be very close inside like this. That's wrong. It should be kneecap to ankle sort of position. You see that? That's my ankle on my left and my right kneecap. And then again, you hug that knee and you lean towards it while you're pulling it up towards you. And then again, focus on your breathing. I can hear silence, so I think many people are not breathing now. So you want to do that. Okay. So those are some of the stretches you can do. Of course, there are other stretches like stretching your hip muscles as well. When you sit and lean forward a lot, you will have a lot of stress on your hip. And when you have a stress on your hip and tightness on your hip, it will aggravate your lower back muscles as well. It's called the agonist and antagonist muscles. What are direct opposite muscles in the body. So you want to do that either standing up or you can do that lying down. Of course, when you sit it on the chair, there's some limitations. Mm-hmm. And then again, if you're sitting on quite a steady chair, you want to extend one leg out. Okay, if you're sitting on a roller chair, be careful, you might roll backwards. But if you're sitting on a steady chair, which I would highly recommend, you want to actually just try to extend that leg, right? Extend the leg down and then try to reach out for your toes. You're actually stretching your hamstring, the muscles that are the back of your thighs.
Bam, can you sit slightly away from the camera so we can actually see you? Right now we can't see you when you are holding your leg.
Yeah, that
shows your toes.
is better. Yeah.
So I'm on a very low chair, but those who are high, you can do the same, but you can actually just literally reach out like this when you're on a high chair.
Mm-hmm.
And you're stretching the leg, right?
Yes,
yeah.
You're stretching the back of the thigh. You want to hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds on each side. For those who have really, really tight muscles, you do want to hold it for longer. And again, the most important part is the breath. Not so much the stretching. The breath actually helps with the stretching more than the stretching itself.
Mm.
And I also feel that, okay, so those are some of the stretches. I also feel that many of us who are very busy working forget to drink enough water.
Mm-hmm.
So we should always have a,
哦，你煮饭啊？
对啊，因为2盒咖喱嘞，那个改天才吃。
so we should always have our water with us, stay hydrated. Of course, we know that drinking coffee and tea, they're diuretics, so they dehydrate your body. So when you could have like green tea instead, at least once a day. Water is life. So you want to have some water in between.
Yeah, sake. Yeah.
So what are we going to do next?
So next, I think we'll actually get you to walk us through the workout. I think we will actually need props, right? We do actually need like 2 water bottles to act as weights. But you know, in case you don't have those, then that's fine as well. I think we just keep up as best as we can, and you know, this workout can always be replayed, right? You can do it in your own time as well when you have all the necessary equipment. But so yeah, Bam, if you just take us through the workout that you've prepared, I think that would be great.
Okay. Question before I start: do you want me to actually go through the 4-minute exercise and 30 seconds rest, or do you want to just have a glimpse of how it would look like for each exercise?
So the options are getting a glimpse of each exercise, and the other one is to actually go through the whole routine, right? I think we will have about 15 minutes. So whichever is, do we have any preferences from anyone? I personally would like to see a bit of everything because I just like having a preview of the whole thing, right? Like a teaser kind of thing.
Sampler platter, yes.
Yeah, that good. Yeah, okay, great.
So if you don't have bottles, I recommend you have a towel, because you could alternate the bottles with the towel. And personally, I use my resistance band because the bottles are too light for me. Okay, so I'm gonna go down here a little bit.
Yep, we can see you all right. It's good.
Okay, great. Okay, so let me slant my mat a little bit. Can everybody see me?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great. So what happens is, before I start, I would like to say that I have a Tabata app, and each exercise that we're going to do will last only 60 seconds, so 1 minute.
Right.
And then right after that, you will have a 30-second, very generous rest time. And then, of course, it continues to the next minute, next exercise, until we hit 7 exercises. Okay.
Okay.
Let's start right now. Okay. So the first exercise is my favorite. It's called a core plank. So basically, most of us have to be on the floor. Okay. And then we want to come up on our elbows here and hold this for 1 minute. Can everybody see me?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to say is, watching is easy, doing is not.
I see someone on the call doing it. Yeah. So yeah, the rest of us.
So for example, if I go with my time, okay.
Starting your Tabata workout.
Okay, it gives me a 30-second time to prepare myself, and then I'm gonna go straight for the 1 minute.
Right.
For those who wanna join me in the whole 1 minute, we're gonna go through that. Okay, that whole session together. Okay, so we have about 10 seconds left, and then we'll go all the way to 1 minute. So if you can really stay on that 1 minute, it will be fantastic. Okay, stand by and
exercise.
Okay, so all we do here is stay on the plank for 1 minute. I prefer you to look down rather than look up because of your neck, and just focus on your breathing. Okay, So because I don't want to look so boring, I will jump out once in a while and see how everybody's doing. I know Uli's on the floor right now. So you want to do that for 1 minute. In fact, on my clock here says 20 seconds to go. So if you really do it for a full minute, it can be easy depending on your fitness level, or it can be quite tough. Okay, so we have 10 seconds left, and then I'm going to show you what to do next.
Rest.
Okay, so this 30 seconds is your rest time. And then while you rest, you're going to be doing another simple exercise, which is a little bit of a flow action. So from here, all you do is for 1 minute, you'll be lying down flat here. And when the time starts, all you have to do is lift up your shoulders and your thighs. Can everybody see me?
Yes.
Exercise.
And that's all you do. You just hold and breathe for 60 seconds. Yeah, so you hold it up there for 60 seconds. I wish I could see everyone doing it, but I can only see people sitting down. But, however, you do that for 60 seconds. Again, as you can see, I keep emphasizing on breath. You want to keep breathing while you're exercising. And because if you keep breathing and not forgetting to breathe while you're exercising, right? It will inculcate that good habit in your daily life as well. So when you're stressed, you can go into your breath. When you are doing something else and you're not comfortable, you'll be breathing. And that's why exercise is really good for you.
Rest.
Okay, so now it's at 30 seconds rest. I will show you a movement that's very easy to do. Basically, you'll be on your knees from here. When the time starts, right, you'll be going down on a push-up.
Push-up.
And then ending up on a child's pose. And then you will do that for 1 full minute.
Exercise.
Okay, I will continue. Child's pose. Keep your hands there. Come down on a push-up.
Oh, it's the, I see.
And yeah, are you on the floor yet?
Yes. But you won't be, you just be able to see my head bobbing up and down.
Good. So this is what you do in a flow. For breathing, you will push and you're breathing out. Down, breathe in, push. We have about 10 seconds to go. Breathe in, up, and breathe out.
Exercise.
Okay, from here you will pull up, just like this. As you can see, the bottles are close to my legs. And
So your knees are bended.
knees are soft, yes. Don't
Okay,
stick
okay.
your knees. Yeah, soft knees. Feet about shoulder width apart. And always looking down at a 45-degree angle. Okay? So if you have a towel, you want to extend the towel and do the same thing. Where would you pull it? Right to your belly button. Same posture, right to your belly button. Yeah, keep going. 10 seconds.
Rest.
Okay, so 30 seconds rest. We're gonna do an outer thigh workout. It's either everybody's busy breathing or they have felt really tired just doing this halfway. The next one. You can only see my head, but what you want to do is you want to lift your ankles up for 30 seconds on each side, like this.
Okay, I think this is a simple one. So maybe if people can just stand up and like do it together, that would be good.
And for those who have
This
been
one's
sitting
simple
down,
enough.
this is the no excuse workout. So remember, your ankle must be higher than your toes. That's right. And you're only dropping it down halfway. Halfway and you're up again. Halfway down, up again. Okay, now it's time to change sides. So it's 30 seconds on each side. As you can see, my leg is only halfway down and it's up again.
I don't think my leg goes up as far as yours though. And I'm starting to feel tired.
Okay, now rest. We've done 2 of the outer thighs. Now we're gonna do a hip bridge thrust, my favorite workout. What you're gonna do from here, lie down, hands on the side, push up. When the time starts, you go half down all the way up. Half down, up, half down, up, half down, up. Okay? Ready?
Exercise.
And go. As you can see, I don't go all the way down. I go half down, up, half down, up, half down, up, half down, up.
For the people who are following, any difficulties do let them know so he can correct you. I think
This is a butt burner. It tones up your hamstrings and it tightens your butt. So that's a very valuable workout.
Oh yeah.
You go down halfway, all the way up. Half down, up. Good, we have 15 seconds to go. If you don't feel it, you're not pushing high enough. So your goal is to push as high as possible, but release it slightly and go back high again.
Rest.
Okay, I hope I'm not the only one out of breath here. Okay, and the final one, guess what? We are at exercise number 7 already. So you see your towel here? Hey, so towel here, put it at the back of your head, not your neck, your head. Okay, when the time starts, you'll be doing your ab crunches. From here.
Uli, don't cheat. It was a nice try.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a different background. Karian, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, has been doing everything actually. So against a very interesting background, so it looks like she's doing all the exercises from space. So
Yeah, exactly.
Karian, how are
Working
you
out the
feeling?
mass.
Are you getting out of breath, or do you feel like this is what you normally do? So we can't hear you. We might need to.
I tried to slow
yes.
the lot down.
Uh-huh.
Going.
So just doing like set reps at home.
Right. I see.
If you're wiping your face, then that's good news.
I would wipe my face. It's just that I don't have a towel with me. Yeah, but good job. Good job. Keep it up.
Yeah. Keep it up.
I love your background as well too.
Thank you. I think it's just a Zoom one.
Yeah. It's very interesting to watch you like exercise in front of that background.
Yeah, working out in space. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
How cool.
Working out for Mars. Yes.
Okay, so I want to say something about these workouts. Again, I created 7 slow fitness for busy professionals so that most of us will not say, I don't have time to exercise because there's only about 7. And it's supposed to encourage people to do it on a daily basis. And the time spent for each exercise will only be 1 minute. Now, what you've seen on this day 1 exercises are only level 1 workouts. There's a progression phase for each workout. There's a more challenging workout for each number. I'll give you an example. Okay?
Sure.
So you know the push-ups I did on the knees,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
You're doing that, right? Now, if I were to do a level 2, what they have to do is they have to go up on the full, and then go on a push-up, and then come up on a child's pose.
Oh man.
That's level 2. See what I mean?
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotta watch all these recordings in slow motion, but I get it.
Can we see level 3?
Sure. So level would be this. As you come down, gonna come up.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right.
Then you go on the child's pose.
Okay.
Down. 1, down, 2, down, child's pose.
Okay, got it.
Right?
Thank you. Then we just had a question about the app you were using. So I just wanted to confirm it's the Tabata stopwatch app.
That's a free app. The one I sent to you. I don't know if you can see the logo. It's the orange one
right.
here.
Yes, it stands out. So yes, we can see it. But so that's just an app. It's just a stopwatch, right? So the exercises are your own, right?
Yes.
So it's just you're pairing the exercises with the stopwatch.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay.
I also there's also one interesting factor that the reason why I want to share with people. I mean, online is a bit hard to teach everyone everything, but just for the people, for the sake of the ones that are in Singapore, set up a adult tutorial center in City Hall. And the reason why I set it up is because I want to educate people to be independent and exercise on their own. And the skills that I acquired over the years is what a lot of fitness professionals are not willing to share with their clients when they're training them. So I will not be training anymore, I'll be tutoring. So for example, people have no time, or they can't afford a personal trainer, or they don't have time to go to a personal trainer and exercise 2, 3, 4 times a week. These tutorials can equip you with enough knowledge to sustain yourself for at least 6 months. 6 months to even 9 months, because there are progression stages as well. That's why I set up a place down in City Hall. But coming back to these workouts, the Tabata is time-based sequences. And what I do is I just insert the workouts in them.
Okay, thanks so much for sharing that, Bam. You know, we've had some comments that from Alex saying, currently I'm planking every morning and I was wondering how to extend. So he says that it sounds like my kind of exercise. And I think, you know, I didn't manage to do everything because like I didn't have the props, but from the ones I did, like I do feel like I already feel better from because I've been just sitting down the whole day. So I think like, you know, even taking like a 15-minute out of your day to just do a set of exercises can be very helpful, and it helps put you in a better mood as well because of like the endorphins that are released. So thanks again, Bam, for sharing. And then we would also like to move on to Dorothy's part of today's session. So without further ado, I might hand it over to Dorothy. I think she was going to bring us through a like a breathing exercise, like a meditation type of exercise, but I'll leave her to elaborate because I'm not the expert.
Hi, Amy, Dorothy, before you get into the next one, Alexander had a few tips that he wanted to share with us. Alex, could you unmute and share with us your tips?
Sure, yes. So I'm working with a few teams and people in Vietnam, and you know, if you are not married yet, a lot of people live at home with their parents, so there is not often the space for separating your work from your personal life. And I was wondering, how do they do it? And one person, even now with the lockdown, he said, you know, I'm leaving the house, I'm walking around the block and coming back with a work mindset. So just, you know, this leaving the house and coming back and sitting down, so changes the environment. So what happens, and I'm pretty sure, Dorothy, you have much nicer words for this than I do. It's basically you have to trigger the context. So you need a trigger that sets the context to work. My favorite one was one lady. She said, what worked best for me is putting on a bra. So that was her trigger for changing the context to work, because when she stays at home, she doesn't wear one usually, she said. And so a lot of people find their own triggers, how to trigger the work mode. And what works most best for all of them was the advice they found somewhere online that said, imagine you get up and you go to work, imagine all the steps and try to mimic a few of those and see if it works. So that was the advice they told me that worked best for them.
Yeah, actually, Alex, you also mentioned the book Atomic Habits. And
yes,
I think I'm a big fan of James Atomic Habits as well. It's got this, you know, small, the author calls it 1% improvement to your day. So basically, the idea is that if you improve just one small percentage for that particular day, in 100 days, you would have made, you know, 100% improvement from your current situation. So yeah, I guess small things matter. And, you know, the routines that you mentioned are so important to kind of switch from your home mode to work mode and get things done. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I think James Clear calls it the compound interest of learning, because the 1% it adds up, it gets compound interest. Yeah. So right now I'm staying in my parents' guest apartment. So I'm supposed to live in Vietnam, but I came to Germany for also health reasons. And this is a small apartment, so I cannot really move a lot. The bed is right next to me, so it's a very small place, but still I get dressed every morning and I actually walk out to get something to eat, and then I come back and then I'm back in my work brain, and that works quite well for me.
Thanks for sharing.
So I'm basically raiding my parents' fridge every morning, and then I come back and get to work.
No, you know, the small things matter. I was sharing with Uli and Amy the other day that, so for me, because we are at home all the time, and I don't really like to get ready or take a shower or do the basic stuff for that matter. But when you go out for work, you do all that. And for me, staying home, I was thinking, oh, good, I don't have to shower or I don't have to put on nice clothes. So it's good. But it kind of messes with your brain that you're not ready for work. You don't feel.
Exactly. You stay in Sunday mode, you know, you stay in the today's day off. And then if something happens, if you go on a call, it stresses you out because you have to switch from Sunday mode to work mode in 2 seconds, instead of just getting in that mode in the morning as you would if you go to work. And I've been working remotely for a while, and this makes or breaks a day. I was working from an island in Thailand in December, and I had a table on the beach, like at the beach. When I was sitting there, I was working, and I was done with work. I closed my laptop and I moved to another table and ordered the fresh coconut, because that was then not work anymore. And that's just switching the table made a huge difference in my mind. So maybe I'm just stupid, but my mind works like this.
No, all our brains are stupid. You can easily
some people
pull
will
them.
also say, you know what, I'll just wear a baseball cap when I'm working, and when I'm not working, I take it off. Something like this.
That's a good one too.
I had a training in crisis intervention once, and we did role play, and we always made sure that for our own emotional health, that we have an object that we only touch or wear when we're inside the role, when we're mimicking, I don't know, someone whose parents just died, and then we have to take it off once we leave the role to make sure that we also leave this context behind. And I think this is a very valuable trick you can take from role-playing psychology or even actors to use for your home office situation.
Oh, yeah, Quinton just shared a comment where for specifically on homeschooling, he says, I tell my kids that are doing remote learning to dress as if they're going to school and not in their PJs. Quinton, do you want to unmute? Are you okay to unmute and talk?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the kids are going through homeschooling at the moment, and there's all kinds of tools and things involved, and you could see that they were not really engaged if they were in their pajamas. And one had this sort of this robe where she was comfortable, and it's getting a bit colder here in New Zealand. They said, no, get out, shower if you have to, or if you want to, but get into your normal clothes as if you're going to see your friends and things like that. And that helped because then you get that sort of live engagement. And it's just a matter, I think, in this case, of keeping your routines to get into that mindset. And I do the same thing too. I've been working all day, and I've had my virtual sales kickoff for the last 3 days. So I'm wearing my red hat t-shirt because now I didn't take it off for now, but I was in working mode, right? So that is the working mindset that I have then, and that seems to work.
Okay, let's get to Dorothy. Can you take us out of space?
First, please go to the stop video. Next to it, there's a button. You choose virtual background. You choose the out of space background.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now let me.
Well,
this is my real room that I saw.
Oh, this is fun. I shall do it too. You will see me having green teas. Okay.
Very nice.
Anyway.
Spacey.
Okay, done with having fun. Actually, what Quinton and Alex has been sharing, it is really, really, really a good bridge to what I'm sharing. So for the past, I think 8 years that I've been coaching on working with like 100+ people through their mind, like in terms of their clarity in mind, in terms of finding their life directions, in terms of working through the various barriers that they're facing in life, so that they can really reach to the goals that they want. The thing that always stops them is never about knowing what to do or not knowing what to do. Albeit that is a very important step, because if we do not know, then we wouldn't know what to do. So knowledge is important, yes. However, the main thing that is stopping them is not about whether they know or not. So how many times you can just answer to yourself. You don't have to raise your hand or whatever. How many times you wish and then you have an ideal state that you would like to get to. You have this achievement that you would like to gun for, or a certain level of success, whether it's big or small. I'm not talking about the common success that we talk about outside, like you need to have a certain X number of dollars, cars, condos, no, not that kind. It's more of success that matter to you. So how many times when you want a certain success, you know what to do. You go and research, you go and read books, you go and ask people, and you have a list of action steps. However, you just couldn't bring yourself to it. Yeah. So the things that stop us is not about what we know or not. It's more of what is really within us that is stopping us. So meditation is one of the things that I'm using as a tool to allow us to break through. And there are many other tools that I'm using as well. So just now, Quinton and Alex and Ellen, you all are sharing about daily habits, mental habits, changing the mindset, and they are all really allowing to use the things that you can relate to, the emotional relationship the habit, the physical relationship. Like once you change into work shirt, even when I do seminars, I'll change, or when I do online courses, I'll change into a proper shirt. I wouldn't wear a pajamas to do it, because we have relationship to this kind of clothes. We have relationship to the actions of changing, to shower, because we're used to it. So that is a habit that we step into whenever that allow us to shift our work when we work in the at home, and that's a very good tip. And coming back to the meditation, what makes me use meditation is that, well, in school we have been very, very trained up in physical activities, and there has been so much research to tell us about rest is very important, good diet is very important, and our school train us in our mind, learning intelligence, right? Agree? Don't agree?
Agree.
And right now they talk about emotional intelligence, and the emotional intelligence is when you're angry, when you are feeling negative, when you feel like shouting to people about shouting at people, when you feel sad. Well, one of the main things is to suppress. But you realize after that, when you suppress up to a certain level, your threshold will just crack, and that is not just affecting you as a person. It affects your family and people around you on top of affecting yourself. And because of that, it drains a lot of energy from you, partly because you have to use a lot of energy to suppress it. Secondly, when you do bad, when you are behaving badly towards yourself or other people, you feel guilty. That takes up energy. So the various emotional and our emotional experiences, it affects us too. So one thing that school doesn't really teach us is how to really, really, really deal with our emotions, and how to really, really, really deal with our mental clarity. It teaches us how to be smarter, how to calculate, but not really about when you want to sleep, when you need to sleep, this is the way to, and your mind will just pause. And you can just feel this quietness in your mind, as if you are by the seaside, as if you are on a cliff, as if you are just watching a humongous mountain in front of your eyes, and you just go, wow, this is so amazing.
So where can I find that mute button for the brain?
And meditation is one of the ways. So there are ways that has been passed around, like for example, one of the common ways that many people are teaching is, empty your mind, clear your mind. At the same time, there are many practitioners that also realizing that empty your mind and clear your mind is not the way. So what I would like to let you experience now is to do a little exercise of emptying and clearing your mind, and then you tell me how effective it is for you. After that, what we will do is I will lead you through an exercise such that you can experience another way of meditation. Why I say another? Because meditation, there are many, many techniques, and different people can use different techniques that help them. And when you learn one technique that is particularly useful for you, you don't have to go for traveling, especially right now you can travel, just to get that quiet mind, that quiet state, so that your creativity flow again, so that you can relax again, so that you can feel yourself and you can connect to who you are again. Okay? So I would like to invite everybody to experience this with me. If you are not feeling comfortable to experience, sure. The only thing that I am going to warn you is that, well, you can't really imagine how it feels by watching us doing, unless you have learned telepathy. If you learn it, do tell me. I want to learn too. Okay. So first exercise, we are going to experience meditation with the instruction of emptying and clearing your mind. So I want you to try. Close your eye for 1 minute. Breathe. And the intention is to empty and clear your mind. 1 minute. I need a count. I know. Keep time. Okay, let us try. Close your eyes, relax your body. Just keep breathing. The intention is to empty your mind, clear your mind. That's 1 minute for you. Slowly come back. Slowly come back. Bring your awareness back up. How does it feel? I need an answer.
Well, I managed to catch a deep breath in between during that 1 minute, and you know, just on a daily basis, right? When we work and we are thinking all the time, and we have so many distractions, I don't think we even have a chance to take a deep breath of ease. You know, most of the time the breaths are usually out of panic or something like that.
Yeah.
But that felt really good. That 1 minute was a good, nice switch off. And it felt great. Like the mind is lightened, the body is kind of rejuvenated, even though it's only 60 seconds. And imagine that being applied just a few times a day. That would be phenomenal. That's good. Amazing.
Thank you. That means you're quite fast actually. But because I have many clients tell me when they are meditating for like, have you meditated before?
Yes, very often.
No wonder.
Almost every morning.
Okay. Any other share?
I find it it takes a lot of energy for me to try to empty. It feels like, you know, you're trying to shovel a hole by the beach, but the sand keeps coming. So that's how it feels to me as an inexperienced practitioner. So emptying is really hard for me. I have this thing, what I do when I need peace. I listen to a very specific song, and that is very calm music, and I imagine myself standing on the beach, feet in the sand. So I don't empty, I replace it with something that calms me, or like that centers me. That works better for me.
Thank you for sharing. Well, Bam and Alex brought up very good different points of view. Bam as an experienced meditator, within 1 minute he can get himself into much more relaxed state, and that is actually a state that we want to get into, because right now, especially when we're very busy, especially when we are, you know, in a slightly panicky mode, and especially when we are being enclosed at home to do work and we can't really go out to do the experience that will relieve you and relieve you. The effective moment of being able to just clear and switch your mind such that you can regain your peace, it is actually very useful. And Alex shared a point of view that many people have been complaining to me about. Dorothy, what do you mean by, you know, meditation can bring me peace and calm? Actually, it got me worse. I think more things, and so that is it. And
Dorothy, can I share?
Yes.
For me, that minute, I have a bit of the same as Alex, that I also have trouble of clearing all the noise in my head. But what I do is I just focus on my breath, and then just realize that my breath is my breath, and then that's what I do. But I don't do meditation regularly. What I do is I replace it by another brain activity, and I play piano, for example. That's something that I picked up because we're staying at home. So I pick up piano and I just play slow notes and nice chords. And in this way, I'm doing completely something different with my brain than sitting behind a computer and talk about technology. And that helps me to regain a sense of, yeah, well, to get back your energy, but also to, I don't know how you say that, centralize yourself or come back to yourself, so to speak.
Fantastic. Thank you, Quinton. Now we are three point of view, different stages. So let me finish about Alex first. What Alex has shared is that in the beginning stage of meditation, it is quite tough to clear. And what he's doing is replay, and that is very common instant noodle. Okay, I'm not coming from offensive point of view. Please don't get offended, okay? I'm just coming from very objective point of view because of how we are trained up. In the current instant noodle economy and practices and lifestyle, that is what we are taught. Replace. However, after it reaches some point, you realize that your space and your mind can be so cluttered and so jammed up that it drains you more than it can recharge you. So, and what Quinton is sharing, actually, Quinton, in terms of breathing, in terms of piano, they are very grounding activities. Breathing is one of the meditative practices. It allows you to focus on your breath, and that allows you to focus in the present, focus in your body. Playing music, firstly, there is physical movement. Secondly, the music is working on your hormones. It releases certain chemicals, and that is working on your body as well. So it brings you back to the now. And as we can see, there are three different stages that we are talking about here now. One is in the beginning stage. One is meditative state, and in a very, very different manner. And when we are talking about this one, actually we have many meditative methods. What Quinton is doing is one of the methods. We also have other methods that allow us to focus on our sight, on our breath, on our hearing, on our senses, smell, taste, touch. And because everybody is very much trained up in different ways, when they are able to identify which is meditative practices that is most effective, that can most effectively bring them into their centeredness, that can allow them to just clear off the mind, that is when they can reach BAM state. What BAM has shared, within 1 minute, he can reach a much more clearer state, and he can feel, wow, I am taking this deep breath that I forgot to take when we are so busy in our life. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to another experience of meditation technique that allow you to tap into another body. And that is much more in the physical side. I'm going to do introduce this counting. Zazen, when you are meditating, before we start, what we are going to do is we are going to count 1 to 10. With every count as loud as you can, because that can allow your voice to be projected, and that will bring out the vibration in your upper body, like this. Deep breath. So if you notice, there is this vibration in my voice, and this vibration is the thing that will allow you to loosen the energy in your body. And the loosened energy, the loosened stuck energy around you as well, will allow you to relax much faster. Okay? When we are doing that, we will, at every count, we will relax a certain body parts. I am focusing more on the joints, namely feet, knees, hips, and so on. Okay, this will take about 5 minutes. by the end of this, most of you will be feeling quite relaxed. If you count this and allow yourself to just stay in the space after the counting, at your own time later. Yes, there will be different things that come to your mind. However, you realize that it comes in much slower. And I will tell you the tips to allow you to relax much better afterwards. Okay. So you just sit comfortably on your chair. Loosen your body, straighten your body. Deliberately relax. Your mind, let go of the various thoughts, the timing, the busyness in your life, the stresses. If you need to just do that. I'm just going to count to 5 due to time. So when you are ready, deep breath. You count out, count into your feet and relax the feet. 1. Relax your feet, the tensions in your feet, your legs, your thighs. Relax them. Breathe in, take the second count. Relax your butts, the muscles in your groin area, your hips and your pelvic area. Release this tension that you have been accumulating there unknowingly. Taking a deep breath, take the next count. 3. Relax your whole arms, your fingers, your muscles on your arms, your elbows, your shoulders. Let go of the unconscious tensions that has been accumulating there due to using arms. Take deep breath for the next count. 4. Relax your mind. All the stress, the tensions that is accumulated on your neck, your throat, your facial muscles, your head. Give yourself the permission to let that go. Deepest breath that you can take for the last count. 5. Relax your skin. Let go of all the tensions on your body deliberately. And release them. tensions on your mind, your shoulders, your back, front, on your hips, and on your legs. Allow yourself to sink into the relaxation. And while being in this relaxed mode, slowly bring awareness back to your body, back to your room. Back to yourself. And this time, and slowly open your eyes when you're ready. If you don't feel like opening your eyes, you can keep it closed. I'm sure you can hear us talking. Notice when your body is much more relaxed. Your breath is deeper. Your oxygen flows again. And if you are sensitive, your body is buzzing. And my body is buzzing now. And this is a very, very short exercises that you can do for yourself during your daily times. You deserve this break from your busy time. Very simple. Give yourself the permission. Sit down for 10 minutes. Count 1 to 10 in this manner. Let yourself relax. And voila, you're back to your body. And that will give you your clarity back. Will let your creative juice flows again. You feel the solutions that for the various situations you have been thinking, they just boom, 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 pop up because your minds flow again. Like what Albert Einstein has shared. Well, he actually meditated in his own way. He just do this. Let himself doze off. The moment when he is between the sleep and awake state.
Oh, I love this one.
Yeah, which is also the meditative state. That means your brainwave is in the alpha state at least, if not lower. That is when the most creative ideas come to you.
Right.
Is that like the lucid dreaming state?
No, very different. Lucid dreaming is also the similar state, however, it is purposely to go into the dream state, such that you can explore what you are to explore in the dream state. This one is more for meditative state is different from dream state.
Yeah.
It allows you to access the alternative state of mind that you are capable of. And this is something that many people do not want you to know because it actually allows you to tap into your various potential in terms of creativity, in terms of your mind abilities, in terms of the potential that you have with regards to your intelligence, clarity, your mind. And they do not want you to know because, well, if you are more stupid, it is easy to control.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, I might be the only one on the bus typically to work who's not looking into their phone. And I realize that I'm looking outside and my brain goes into a screensaver mode. And I'm not, if somebody asked me, what are you thinking about? I wouldn't even know what to say. But I have apparently great ideas, and later it just comes to me and I realize it must have been during that period. So I think I know what you mean. Awesome.
Dorothy Alexander has a question.
Okay.
Can you see, are you able to see the chat?
There are 22 messages. As you can see, I'm a very up and down person. I'm a very normal person. And I love all these tools because they are fun.
The last
Fantastic.
chat, you can look at it.
Okay. Building habit. Well, I have that difficulty in building habit too, which is why I started off with joining a group of people to do together. Because honestly, I'm not being a pessimist here, but honestly, if you allow yourself to face the world in a very truthful manner without your personal biasness, while majority of the people, they are not exactly enjoying their life. They are not exactly celebrating life, including my parents, especially my father. My mom starts to celebrate. So happy. So, well, if you start to do well, if you start to be better than them, if you start to, really be happier, quieter, or even more expressive, they will start to, hey, what's happening to you? Are you okay? So it comes from, your good friends comes from best of intention. They are not pulling you down, but they are asking you those things because they do not know better. They have been trained just like everybody else to, well, try not to stand out too much because for the fear of jealousy, for the fear of, being put down by other people. So being mediocre is something that is very safe because people do not feel threatened and they will feel that, hey, you're just like me, a mediocre person. Then, well, everybody can feel bad together. So the groups of working towards our lives such that we are really, 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 really living the life in a way that we really want, in a way that we can be who we are, in a way that we can bring out the best of us. I know it sounds very cliche, but literally the best of us. We can really bring out our hidden talents. Hidden talents not because we do not know, but because we are shy and we do not have the place to explore and express them. Or when you have a group to do that, basically we are just continuously, hey, how come you're not really doing something that you like? We are doing that instead of, hey, how come you are really so expressive? How come you're doing so much in your life? What's wrong with you? Don't you need to sleep? So a group of people whereby we continuously stand for each other's higher self, stand for each other's best, stand for each other's potential, and stand for each other's strengths. And that is something that I'll highly, highly recommend. That's also why I am, my friend and I, we are building a woman empowerment circle. And then I myself, we are doing a weekly meditation group so that we can really clear ourselves and come back to ourselves and talk about the things that matter to us. So when stress rises up, the practice is first fall to victim to the busy schedule. Yes. That is a habit. And that is a habit that I would say first, do not self-beat yourself for it. If the self-beating is not going to bring you forward, don't self-beat, don't bother, waste of time and energy. It still comes back to the point. Working together with a group, when, if by yourself, you are not able to put aside a time, regardless how many schedule and reminder you tell yourself, you still, fall short of it and go back to your busy life, then there is nothing wrong in using your tribal instinct of like grouping together with your fellow human beings, with your tribes. And right now we have international tribes. We have internet, all gathered together with a tribe you can identify with, that you can feel at home with, and work on something that allows you to recharge, allows you to really be yourself, and allows you to work on that particular item together. To be honest, it will not be a 1 day, 2 day things. It will not even be a 1 month, 2 month things. It will at least be 1 year thing. Because by 1 year, then at least you can prove to yourself that, wow, I have gone through so much, and I have finally defeated some of the barriers that I had been facing. Like, I'll be very honest. I come from a background of a very normal family. I used to be very shy. I used to be a girl on the street where you just pass by and nobody notices. And it took me about at least 2 years to work on myself before I built myself up to a person who finally dares to take leadership roles successfully. Before that, even though I fight for it, I couldn't get it. So 2 years time, it sounded not short, not long. And that is time that you can give to yourself to work through the barriers with a person who knows what to do and who stands for you for who you are, so that you can cut through your shit, cut through your crap, and build the habit for yourself. Excuse my language.
Thanks, bro.
Okay.
That's lovely sharing. Actually, yeah, it's I really appreciate that you brought out this community working together. Peer pressure does wonders. When you cannot do something yourself, you just try to gather your tribe. I like the word, how the word that you use, your tribal instinct. So the group survives, right? So if you cannot do something by yourself, you try to group together, bring together like-minded people. Like, for example, I am doing something that is completely not related to my work or my other leisurely activities. Writing is something that I've been wanting to do forever in my life, and I just hadn't found the space and time. So we started. I started meeting up with a group of people who are also wanting to write but not finding the time. So we set up a time this Saturday in the morning, 10 o'clock. So we said, okay, 1.5 hours. We're coming online. Nobody's gonna talk. We're just gonna, log in and then write. I don't know how it's gonna work, but apparently it works. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So yeah, Alex, if you have trouble doing something, find your tribe.
The Martians is a very, very good example. The tribe of people working for Mars and coming together and finding ways such that we can be more productive.
Yeah.
And that's how I was like, whoa, when I first met Ovi.
And that's how we all help each other, right?
Correct.
But I think you've given us some really nice teasers, but I think personally, I know for myself, this is, I got to try some of this. I got to watch the video. I mean, I've been operating the cameras and stuff and the tech in the background, but both for BAM stuff
so
and
much
also yeah, well, it's nothing, but I think, what can I do? What can we do if we want to have more of Dorothy, or, if we want to go in more depth?
Okay. I've come up with a form, Google form. I do not want to take up too much time here. If you are interested to find out more on actually first step that you have to discover for yourself is to first find out what is your personality and what can fit for you, because you have to always first start with yourself. So if you're interested in find out how you can identify what works best for you, and what can be a good customization for you, such that during this transition you can best bring out your strength, and then really allow yourself to take this chance to build yourself, improve your ability, improve your attraction, improve your strength, such that after this period is through, your value as a person is increased. Do drop me a message via the Google form, and then we can chat and we can see how we can collaborate from there. Aline, I am quite interested in working with you guys. We should talk more later. I want to see how we can use this chance where everybody is having more time on their hands to start to fulfill something that is important to them.
Yeah.
So yes, the Google, drop me a message, fill out the form, and then we can see how we can add value to each other. Okay.
Great. So we are a little over 6:45 here, so we've run over our time. But I just want to ask, anybody else want to have some sharing, some thoughts. What's everyone feeling after having worked out mentally, physically? Okay, no thoughts. I feel a bit relaxed, so I'm also not super motivated to talk right now. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, same.
The end of the day, and really end of the day for Quentin. So, Uli, Amy, what do you want to wrap up?
I feel great. This was awesome. I think we're getting really, really good at doing these kind of things. And there's more topics coming, and it's for all of us here in the room, not just the three that you see on the event page, to suggest things we can do together. We were thinking about a concert. We were thinking about doing something around, people looking for jobs. But yeah, I mean, I know that I need to both do a bit of more physical things as well as calming the mind, specifically probably the later, but I also realized it's both connected with each other. Those are not isolated things. And I've taken so much things away, and I got to watch the whole thing again just to make sure I didn't miss stuff.
Yes,
I suddenly have one thing that I want to share. I've been thinking for the longest time to have a group of people to meditate together, such that we align ourselves to either abundance or align to ourselves to manifestation. So group meditation is actually much more powerful, even though there is no science. Okay, no, there has been scientific research that's shown results already. So I want to do a group meditation that everybody can come together to meditate and focus on the energy of abundance or manifestation. So I would like to request whether I can invite the people here. If everyone is interested, we come together and we just do the meditation. It's not going to be something that I'm going to sell anything. I just want to meditate.
Do you think this could be audio only? That video is maybe too distracting if we're just doing audio?
Amy, you are muted.
We just check. Let me check.
Amy, you're muted.
I was just saying that if we all have this background, then it's actually quite trippy and cool.
Yeah, I can see the blue. I have it on the gallery view. I can see blue all the.
It's actually pretty cool. Like if anyone came to Zoom bomb this right now, they would be like, "Okay, I'm leaving."
Welcome to the space.
they would just be like, "Okay, bye." Like I'll find another group to bomb, right? Like I think it's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just you who doesn't have the background.
Yeah, because I'm on my phone and I can't find a way to change it.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Right.
On the iPad, on the iPad can. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's.
Before you go, I just also wanted to, when Bam is doing his the stretching, there's one stretch that I really like and is really working for me. I've been doing it for years, but only when my body has really gone out of whack. Surya Namaskar, it's a yoga routine, but I don't do the rest of yoga. I just do the stretching. I love stretching. So the Surya Namaskar stretches the whole body, and throughout the routine, I'm saying, it's like, so it really stretches your body. Try it. There are like thousands routine tutorials on YouTube. I just sent you one example here.
Yeah, maybe what I can do is I can probably do a recording of full body stretch when perhaps someone is at home, maybe just sitting on the couch, or example, sitting on a chair, and record the whole thing, and then people could just follow if they want to do like a stretch down after a day of work, or after out from a jog, and they just want to come home and stretch rather than be safe at home and stretch rather than stretch outdoors.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, so I'll probably do that. In fact, I was asked wanted to do that back in 2009, I think. Somebody actually asked me to do that. I mean, I wanted to do that, but didn't really come to it.
Okay, you're only 11 years late.
anyway, I think that'll be good. And if I would have a little bit more time to do a full workout, like actually doing the full 1 minute with a 30-second rest, like I'm actually doing on my own, so that people can actually follow it when they're ready anytime, to just go on YouTube and say, okay, I just want to follow this guy, for a full minute and rest for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I could record that as well, and then share it with you guys.
Yeah. And let me know if you need help on the tech side with recording, posting, anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Same for
good.
Dorothy. I'm not sure. I mean, I would. Dorothy mentioned the three bodies, like physical, emotional, intellectual. I think I have an idea, but it would be fun to have a bit more meat to that, and in a consumable form. It's just an idea.
Anyway, I just want to add, before we all part in a couple of minutes, that I want to encourage people to at least try to do some form of physical movement, because our ancestors used to do that. We didn't have too much technology back then. We didn't have too many distractions. There was no laptop, no such thing. If you want to meet a friend, you can't WhatsApp. You have to actually phone call and meet them at the bus station or MRT station. So everybody moved much more. And I don't know if you listen to the guy called Joe Rogan. He does a lot of podcasts on YouTube. He's also a commentator of UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships. He's quite a known guy in the US. He said something like this, we every day we have to move. We have to move and do something. So stress sometimes relates to not moving. I also believe that stress is also related to what we eat. I'm just to share, I'm just 5 years away from being 50 years old. I'm not in my 30s, I'm 45. I just turned 45 last month. But in my head, I always think that I am a 28-year-old guy,
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. In and out of the house. So, it always starts from our heads. What we do starts from the head.
Why would you do that? That middle age is so much cooler than 25.
Yeah. So, if it's just one word I would like to share with everyone, it's believe. If you believe in something, anything can be achieved. So before you even want to do something, or think of not doing something, believe that you really can achieve anything that you want. So yeah, just believe and inculcate. Habits come from schedule. If I may add.
Yeah.
For me, habits are hard to inculcate, but schedules are easier to keep. So if I build a daily schedule for myself, just like back in school, we have subject after subject that we have to go to. As we get into adulthood, we kind of have more freedom of choice whether we want to do something or not in that day. And that's when we probably fall back a little bit. But if I imagine myself a student in school again, and I schedule my next day the day before, I may be able to keep some of those schedules. And then over time, like over 21 days or more, I may be able to inculcate that into a habit. So a habit to me starts from a schedule. And the schedule is that daily schedule that you can try to work toward on a daily basis. That's my tip of the day.
Great.
Great.
I second what Bam is saying. What Bam is sharing with us. Actually, like what he said, it is actually coming from our, during our ancestral time, there is a lot of movement. So many of the things that we are trying to inculcate now from the wellness industry and point of view is actually something that is inbuilt in us and is very important to us. So have fun reconnecting to who we really are.
Yeah, there are lots of ideas that we came up with, so we might follow up with an email or over LinkedIn with all the links and everything, so you can also hear more from Dorothy and Bam. And with that, I would like to thank our two very special experts today and everyone else for being so game to try out all these things with us. So thank you, and yeah, have a great rest of the day, evening, night, whichever time zone you're in. Thank you all.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.